Well, back out also come Jonathan Coleman and Michael Lambe. It's Sean Ashe breaking off first, and that's a very similar break that he produced in the first match, if you remember, Si. Cue was tracking that sort of way, and we couldn't believe it didn't go in off at Jordan, got a bump and jawed again, this time straight down the hole. And that is not good news, and you can see the reaction. Wouldn't like to be that table right now. Sean Ashe is a big man to annoy.
Two balls just got in the way of each other there. It looked all money, like they were going to block the cue ball, and then it didn't happen. This is a really good opening chance as well. Just have to be careful with this 3 at the bottom. This next shot, if they can get the cue ball out, and the line is tough to find, they'd love to get this cue ball out and quite a long way down the table. Not quite got the line. You're always going to be on the red down the table, but the red they're now having to play was their breaker ball for the 2 reds on the left-hand side. So that's what's going to cause the issue here. Jonathan deciding to drop it in to play the tricky double. Or is it more of the control shot? Because the red's in the way of the double, so unless it's the double plant or the treble, it's a safety. Not the best of safeties. You're always going to probably leave sight of a yellow unless you played it perfectly. And yes, you can see the yellow at the bottom of the table. Well, that's not why I'm saying it wasn't the best of shots. The reason I don't like it was because you needed those 2 reds to stay separated to put the pressure on. Because now they still look like they're going to need some attention, even if they had ball in hand. Beauty from Jaden. He'll be a little bit disappointed he pushed the yellow further past the red into right centre, but it's given him a way in. Every ball actually has a pocket here, and you can actually play yellow into right centre a couple of shots time, the one below the 8 ball, off the red, which opens up the other yellow, so you don't have to take it to the corner. But if they got on it nicely to the corner, it wouldn't bother them anyway. Has Jaden just come too far down for what they were planning? It certainly looks an awkward shot now. They've moved into a ball. It's not perfect.
He is such a sweet cueist, is Jaden Billingham, isn't he?
He really is, and it wasn't just the part. The cue ball was beautiful as well, and it's one more roll would have made it really perfect. But I was just thinking how the double he played first shot was giving them a great chance, and they just got themselves in a bit of a mess on the pattern, and yet that shot from Jaden recovered the situation. He still has to pull out one here because he's got to avoid the reds. Able to get enough bite on that he could stay above them. I thought for a minute he had to go bottom cushion, side cushion. So another beautiful shot from Jaden. Sean nearly threw that one straight onto the jaw again, but it falls in this time.
First glimpse of a smile tonight from that pairing. Definitely needed that one. That was not ideal. The start they made, but that finish was classy. Jonathan Coleman then kicking things off. Looks like he'll be playing Sean Ashe first. Jaden Billingham, therefore, looks like he's been nominated as the player 2 in that scenario, which I think is probably the right call.
It's the way they went in the first match as well. They were just 2-0 down when it got there, and
even though in the last individual match they played against each other, it was Sean who came away with the win in the Ultimate Pool Pro Series. So I'm sure he's let Jaden know about once or twice since.
But you've seen, even though, you know, for what you say there, and obviously, you know, Jaden being the much younger partner, but you've certainly seen that when it's come, you know, he's certainly leading the partnership, if you like. Just the way they're having their discussions about their patterns and their routes on the Scotch, you know, it's Jaden that's kind of leading that. And quite rightly, I mean, he's got a vision for the game that is absolutely fantastic. But he's in his chair right now, just letting Sean do his thing. Another very good player in his own right. Ooh, is he on the next ball? It's tight. It looks like he can see the one down the table, can't he? Hasn't looked. So is he on the one to right centre? Doesn't look like it. Can't see that one, but if he could see the left-hand one of the two, he'd have been down and played it already. So I'm assuming he's not on either ball, the one to right centre or that one. Oh, I think well, he obviously has to bend it a little bit. But beautiful.
Oh, good shot, yeah. Wobbled in, but deserved to. That was a brilliant bit of cueing from Sean Ashe.
He's going to need another couple of amazing pieces of cueing as well. Needs to force this in and get back across. Oh,
no way! Come on!
Wow,
that is incredible. You could be there a long time and try and do that one again, and then he draws the next one. Sean, what are you doing? Incredible. It's amazing.
That takes me back to back when I used to play. I felt like every time I made a fluke, I felt so bad I missed the next ball. Didn't have that ruthless thought of, well, I'm going to make it hurt, because that would have hurt.
Yeah,
it really would have.
It would have. Reminds me of a shot that we saw in the Worlds last week. Chucky Preston in the Masters against 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏. Very, very similar shot in the sense she was actually just trying to do the reverse of that, trying to play it up the line of the table, caught the draw of the middle pocket, and ended up cocked-hatting it into the opposite centre. The face on 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏, remarkable. But that's a terrible shot from Jonathan Coleman, because it's left Sean with mopping up to do.
Yeah, that's the worst shot we've seen tonight.
Got it all wrong.
Yeah.
What a moment. Oh, he'll be feeling absolutely sick with that, will John?
I talk about this all the time, that you're going to have, you know, we're talking about the difference between top challengers and the pros is minimal. You know, between, you know, Jonathan and Sean there, you know, level-wise, very little between them. You know, right now Sean's in the pro ranks and Jonathan isn't, but level-wise, they're, you know, very similar. But and that's there's a lot of strength and depth. But one of the things that you can really separate yourself is making sure that when your opponent misses like Sean did, you've got to win those frames. And when you practice a lot, you kind of think, oh, well, I always win those frames. But I would say go and track them, go and monitor them, and how often are you, how clinical are you being on those frames in that situation? Because if you are, you're going to win an awful lot of matches and therefore go on and win an awful lot of tournaments. They can often be the difference between winning and losing a match when you've got two high-quality players. Didn't get to see Jaden playing an individual frame in the first match. He was cleared off the break, so first time we get to see him kind of work his own pattern out.
Yeah, he's brilliant to watch. 3 quarter-final he's been to already on the Ultimate Pool Pro Series. There has only been 6 events. He's been to the last 8 in half of them. That is good going, and they've all come recently as well. So his 3 quarter-finals have come out the 4 most recent Pro Series events. He's really tracking in the right direction. Take a look at his last one that he made. 8-0 win over Carl Morris, 8-4 win over Aaron Davies, 8-4, 8-3 win over Greg Batten before falling to Rob Wharne in the quarter-final. There's some serious names that he's competing with and indeed beating.
He's the real deal, no doubt about it. It was a little bit short coming down the table there, so just played that with him with rakes of side. So not just to hold it on the straight off the cushion, but also to kill it off the cushion. Made it look a routine finish, but there's a couple of little subtle touches in that visit to the table for Jaden, making the game look easy.
If it is to happen for Jonathan Coleman and for Michael Lambe, it has to happen sharpish. They played very, very well in that first match without quite getting over the line. Just one mistake towards the end, which kind of cost them, but a very explainable error. The difference is in this match is they've had one major opportunity that's been handed to them. They sort of blew it, and all of a sudden, two quality players, you're 3-0 down.
But if you don't make that mistake and you win that frame, it's 2-1 with everything else being the same. And I know things don't play out that way, but it sort of highlights the point I was making about that you've got to punish when your opponent makes a mistake. And obviously, Jonathan would love to have that shot back again. A little unfortunate there. They wanted yellows. They didn't have an open ball on. Tried to bend it and make it happen, and it hasn't. So, chance to wrap the match up here with time to spare for Sean and Jaden.
Could be a very quick evening's work for these two here. They don't seem to like getting involved in a tester. Lost the first match 4-0, and they should be about to win their next match 4-0. Very handy sportsman at large is Sean Ashe. Pretty decent footballer back in his day, as well as a very, very good pool player. Not sure what I'd rather run into him on the football pitch or on the pool table. Wouldn't fancy my chances either way.
Yeah, you don't get hurt as much on the pool table though.
Yeah, just emotionally.
Yeah, he's a big unit, is Sean.
I love the way they've taken these out so far, but have they just come a little bit off angle here? He wanted to be a bit straighter in on this.
Yeah, even if he was just a touch straighter, he could have used the red to hold, but if he did that now, he'd catch the left-hand side and slide behind it. So not guaranteed to go well here.
Oh, that's very good.
Just accepting a bad angle on the 8-ball, just accepting, you know, worked out, can't do any better than that, so give yourself a shot.
Just really nice execution as well, just killing that in with the side.
Yeah, and he's going to help here, because if it's a natural in-off, you can't play it. You'd have to play a double. But if the clip-in's natural, to miss the pocket, well, they must have been worried about the in-off. It looked like the clip was the shot there, but they didn't like it.
It almost looked like they were trying to use the red on the inverted commas blue spot to help guide that in as well. Little tricky finish there, not quite it for Jaden and Sean.
Off the cushion, though, you couldn't do anything other than accept natural angle, really. So, you know, if you're in off, you're in off. You've got to find something else. The double was the shot. They'll be disappointed not to get out there, because the match, it does remain live, just. Another loose one from Jonathan, just pulls it back way too far. Are they okay? Yeah, just okay. Really awkward angle, because if you try and kill this one in, you could end up behind the 8-ball. Oh, punch it in using the side cushion. Lovely shot. They're on the board, 4 minutes to play. It's still doable, just. Certainly highlights the mistake not punishing Sean when he made his mistake earlier on. We've had 2 really good chances to win frames in this match, and we've only taken 1. That's the difference between 2-2 and 3-1, which is obviously massive in a short match like this.
Billingham Ashe to break. 3 frames to 1.
Really explode on him, almost bounced off the pack. But a decent enough layout. It was nice if he's finished on that one in the triangle area. Hardest one to get nicely on.
3 minutes and change left on the match clock here as well. Jaden stays at the table for the majority of this visit. You'd imagine he'll probably go quite a long way to securing the match. Every second that ticks away, valuable. Despite his age, we often see young players sort of fly around the table. Jaden would be on the more methodical side of things. 15 seconds a shot, not his natural game, but he is such a good cueist and he does see the game really, really well. I always think when you've got those 2 things to start with, 15 seconds, whilst it seems scary, it generally tends to favour the better players, because once you get sort of used to the cadence of it, actually it favours those who see the game the quickest and the best.
He's certainly right up there with that.
Jaden Billingham for the win, and he eliminates John Coleman and Michael Lambe. The jewel shines in the Pairs Cup, and he wants a fist bump from his buddy Sean Ashe as the Shark leaves him hanging. Match 4 coming up for you in just a tick.